The Ninja Turtles are a common subject for this show, but somehow haven't gone over any that were specifically ripping off the 2003 series yet, so let's fix that and look at Teenage Mutant Ninja. Yeah. So I guess sometimes Teenage Mutant Ninja is also known as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm glad some of the packages for this particular knockoff made this really clever alteration to the name. And the other package is of course just a straight up bootleg of the 2003 series cards. Though noticeably the Turtles logo on the bootleg is really yellowed compared to a real one, which is either due to how this was stored or just how they copied the logo. It's funny some of the things you notice that they've recreated instead of just copying, like the warning in the corner here. And I guess, really surprisingly, they don't tell you to catch it on the Fox box or have the Playmates logo. An addition we have to this card is a kind of rare one where they actually let us know what year this knockoff came out, which was 2006. The 2003 figures would have this little circle attached to the Turtles logo showing the figure and their name. They still have this with this knockoff, but they've deattached it from the logo, and I don't think it's quite right. But then again, Raphael is the leader of the group, so maybe he just wears blue now and has completely stolen Leonardo's identity. A kinda wrong thing about this card is the fact that it has all four turtles at the top. While other characters in the series would have a card like this, Leonardo or Raphael, whoever this is supposed to be, would have their specific portrait taking up the entire top. And the card back on this one is almost an exact copy of the 2003 Raphael card back. One of the big things they've changed, though, is instead of having a character bio towards the bottom of the card, they just have portraits of the four turtles and the foot soldier and Shredder. It's also kind of amusing they went to the effort of removing all the registered marks by the characters' names on the side here. Real clever there, guys. And all the stuff about the 2003 Raph figure is mostly the same. It's just, of course, we don't have any of this with our weird Leonardo figure. And due to their kinda sloppy copy job, it makes it look like it says, use Rapan's pulley line rider to fly over the evil foot soldiers. Stupid Rapan! Then we have a tagline that they've added above the circle portraits, which just sounds slightly wrong. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to save the world one more time. Yep, just one more, then they're done. It'd be a little less awkward if it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to save the world one more time. They've also removed the registered marks by characters' names, and they'll let the turtles show you the true way of the ninja blurb towards the top of the card. So there's quite a few card variants that these rather odd Ninja Turtle knockoffs have appeared on. They've even appeared on Tubtles cards. The Teenage Mutant Ninja variant has decided to not be all fancy and have it kind of cut out around Leo and Donatello's head at the top. They've also modified the Ninja Turtles portraits at the top a bit and rearranged them, and Donatello's just a mirrored version of Leonardo now. He's not even the same shade of green he was on original 2003 card backs. The Teenage Mutant Ninja card has a few oddball things on it, like a couple of screen caps from Ninja Turtles video games, with one from the Fighters and one from Turtles in Time. There's also a picture of a completely unrelated, as far as I know, Ninja Turtles knockoff, Tortoise Rider. Real nice cross-promotion between knockoffs here, I guess. And yes, of course, we'll be discussing Tortoise Rider in more detail in another video. So in addition to other random Turtles knockoffs, the Teenage Mutant Ninja card back also has some art assets from the 2003 series like Splinter, Donatello, and Leonardo. And I'm guessing the one card they really copied from the 2003 series was the Raphael one, because once again we got the Raphael figure shown. And they've recreated the text about his twin size and ninja belt. Though on this particular copy of the Raphael figure, they've like slammed the saturation really hard, so Raphael just looks like he's one flat shade of green for the most part. This card also, instead of having a bio, has all the circle portraits of the characters, though this one's added Splinter in there. They've also got that "to save the world one more time" catchphrase on here, though someone apparently wasn't paying that close attention to what they're typing, so they put "Tooknage Mutant Ninja Turtles to save the world one more time." We're also told to collect them all, but what are they telling us here? To collect the real ones? Because I don't think this knockoff line made these other characters. We have pictures of 6 of the other 2003 Ninja Turtles figures on here, but no Raphael because, you know, I guess this is a Raphael figure again, even though it's not. Oh, and Shredder's no longer Shredder, guys. He's Segredder. Yes, Segredder. I always hated how Segredder would interfere with the Tooknage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These figures were made in China but came to me from Greece, and these are actually 2 figures I've been waiting to cover since I started Bootleg Zones. So here's our Teenage Mutant Ninja versions of Leonardo and Michelangelo, or alternatively Raphael and Raphael if we want to go by what the cards were telling us. Though there is a possibility that this might not be Michelangelo and instead is Kirby the 5th Turtle! Because Michelangelo's headband is awfully yellow and it's the same color as his plastering. So of course the oddest things about these particular Ninja Turtle knockoffs is that cat nose they have. Maybe this is why Michelangelo has a giant lion sword. It might also be why the one card didn't know how to finish and just said Teenage Mutant Ninja, because maybe they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Cat Turtles. So the swords our cat Leo came with are not the swords that 2003 Leonardo comes with. These swords look more like what the 2003 Foot Soldier comes with, but they're not exactly the same, so if it was based on those, they've modified them. It's probably just a mold copy from something else, though. And speaking of something that's gotta be a copy from something else, is Michelangelo's lion sword. I kinda love that they gave him a sword that's taller than him. The 2003 Ninja Turtle series was kind of the peak of Playmate's effort on these figures, as, you know, they came with actual painted accessories. So it is kind of nice and surprising that these knockoffs also followed suit and painted their accessories. So yeah, besides the cat nose, there are also some kind of odd details to these molds. The cat turtles have straps which turn into chains on their chest with some bullets, but maybe those are just supposed to be some kind of throwing dagger? I don't know. So these guys are extremely cheap feeling, as you can see some plastic splitting, and oh yeah, Michelangelo's arm popped off when I was trying to put his giant cat sword in his hand again. Not cool, dude! A kind of surprising detail is the backs of their shells actually being a different color plastic than the rest of their body, though it is still kind of a screw hole nightmare on the back here. These figures are rather articulated with ball joints at the arms and elbow joints and knee joints, but you have to be careful with them because the plastic is extremely brittle. Right, Michelangelo? But look at the cat turtle figures. Don't they just fit right in with the other 2003 figures? Not really? Alright. They did at least sort of match the Leonardo and Michelangelo shade of green they had in this line. A kind of odd difference between these two figures is, though, that Leonardo's arm and knee bands are painted blue like his headband, but Michelangelo's are black. Maybe the black of Michelangelo's ones was supposed to be more like the brown arm and knee pads of the 2003 figures, but not consistent. It's also kind of odd these molds look like they have a wristband on them, which is unpainted, and then there's a further up the arm band, which is not a part of the mold. There's supposed to be some kind of armband, close enough. You can also see part of an elbow pad, but again, that's unpainted. And they also didn't paint the knee pads all the way around, because that'd be too much. Them being too lazy to finish the knee pads, though, is one of those things that makes me surprised that they gave the shells a different color of plastic. The fact they even have a giant screw hole in the back of their heads is kinda sad. And these are probably the first turtles that Segretter can defeat with catnip pizza. You can really feel how brittle and cheap these figures are, which was kind of proven by Cat Mikey's arm just breaking off trying to put his weapon back in his hand. It is a little bit of a tight fit for the giant sword to go into his hand, but on the flip side, Kitty Leo's swords are pretty loose and will easily fall out. They have ugly splitting seam lines and bits sticking off them in some spots, and they are majorly screwed on the back. On the plus side though, the paint job is alright for the most part, and they do stand pretty easily. The articulation is nice, but if they're gonna move that much, it'd be nice if they could just keep themselves together. 3. The assets on the cards are mostly copies, but the actual figures are new molds, so that's something. But I do wonder if they got distracted watching cat videos partway through creating these figures. 5. I never thought I'd see cat-nosed Ninja Turtles, but here we are! It's the combo we never knew we wanted? Teenage Mutant Ninja Cats! More like Teenage Mutant Ninja Brats, am I right? 9. It's kinda odd how many package variants these molds have appeared on. I guess this mold has probably been passed around to at least a couple of different knockoff producers in China at this point. The near copy of the 2003 card isn't quite as amusing as the version that thought making a new logo that doesn't quite finish the name was worthwhile. And hey, let's just pad out the card with stuff like video game screen caps and other knockoffs, which I highly doubt anyone making this KO had anything to do with. But at least we know the Teenage Mutant Ninjas will save us from Segretter one more time. 7. These figures don't really fit in with the line they are copying that well, unless maybe the cat turtles are just like taller villains or something. 4. And the bootleg zones overall is 8. These kitty cat turtles are highly amusing, and I love some of the odd decisions and typos on the cards. Just wish they weren't quite so cheaply made. Guess the only thing left to say really is Catabunga! What the shell is this garbage? Cat turtles? We are the perfect enemies for the turtles, Leo! By the power of Lion Sword! Please don't let my arm fall off! Wait, Mikey? Are we the baddies? Yes, you are. Donatello, get the laser pointer. Are you sure you really want to demean them like that, Leonardo? Well, we could always defeat them by going Super Saiyan instead. No, I'll get the laser pointer. You fools! We were sent here by our master lion, Segretter. There's no way we would fall for something as silly as a stupid laser point. Shut up, Cat Mikey, a red dot! Oh, I gotta get it! Gotta get it! Ugh. You turtles might have defeated us this time, but mark my words, we won't be back, because we gotta take a nap. I'm really lazy. This is the worst adventure we've ever had. We had to go inside the internet and collect splinter files. Please don't remind me of that. Cat Leo, come back to our home, Junklantis! Damn it! I don't come when I'm called, Mikey. I'm a cat. Bye! Oh, meow.